Now, you were sharing your story about grandfather's church, starting the Bible study.
Yes.
And then people start saying, put in a book and put together in a book, and you weren't feeling that at first. And then you got a kind of insight to start doing some work, putting things together. Explain what's happened and where you are today.
Yeah, I should grab that real quick. Let me get this.
All right, get your book. You got one with you? Okay.
Yeah, I do. Pastor told me that your gifts will make room for you. And I was in his life group, and he kept on saying it. I was trying to figure out what that meant. But kind of similar to Christina, I had a lifestyle. I wasn't living a lifestyle of God, and I was making a whole lot of money. And I just wasn't content. And I had back then what I call a Donnie day. That means I cut off my phone, I get a hotel room, and it's just room service and swimming all day. And I was sitting, I came in my room, and I was like, God, like, I want more. I just told him, I said, I want more. And I was like, I was born and raised in the church, but like, you know, I was in the church. I wasn't sure if I was raised in it. I was just there. And I was 24 years old, and I was like, God, I want more. And I just sat on the edge of the bed, and he said, quit. And I was like, so what does that mean? And he never said anything else.
Wow.
So I said, well, okay, well, then whatever I'm doing, I need to quit it. So I quit the lifestyle, and I quit that, and I lost everything. I lost my cars. I lost where I lived at. I was living in the basement underneath my grandfather's church. I was going to the gym to shower because there wasn't a shower facility where I was at. I was sleeping on an air mattress, and he brought a revelation to me when I was going through that time, and he said, you'll never know what's within until you have to live without. And I was so busy looking outside for this and that, and he showed me everything that you need is already inside of you. And for me, during that time of cultivating, God helped me understand, like with the asking, I grew up in South Central, and so, you know, you ask with more than just your words. And there's been plenty of times when the guy's had a confrontation, and he's in your face, and dude knock him out, and he was asking for it. He never said hit me, but he was asking for it with his actions. So God said, what are your actions asking for? If somebody get in your face and they yelling and waving their hands, and you hit them, I said, I'm going to go to God and say, well, I'm going to be yelling, God, I need you. Put my hands up, I need you. And he's going to say, you asking for it. Because my actions were asking for it, not just my words. It was more than just that. And he cultivated that to the degree where it wasn't just knocking. He said, knock it down.
Come on, man.
It wasn't just like, hey, hello. He told me you can't be timid about the things that God wants you to pursue. You know what I'm saying? When pastor has people up here and he said, you know, come down and give your life to Christ or rededicate a prayer, like, well, you know, if he calls me by name or if he gives me eye contact, you gotta be so thug about this thing.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
God is looking for soldiers. He's looking for warriors. He told me as a man, you don't just knock and, oh, I guess nobody's home. You kick the door down if you got to.
Come on.
To get what God has for you. That promise is so serious. If it's that dear to you and that valuable. Okay, let me reel this back in. So, anyway.
No, you're on target. You're on target.
I don't want to be here too long.
Because you're going to ask him to come to Christ when you finish.
Amen. Boldly. My grandfather was my pastor. My grandmother passed away. And, you know, it's tough. They were together for so long, and he had some issues just trying to still minister. He was going through his grieving period. So he asked different people to teach Sunday service and Bible study, and I was one of the young men he asked. At the time I was 24. He asked me to teach one Sunday Bible study, and I was like, okay, you know, I'll give it a shot. I've never been scared. Like my mom raised me, says, your energy wrapped in flesh, just go do it. You know, and she taught me the rule of, you know, why, she taught me the rule of why not me? And when I see someone homeless, I say, why not me? And it makes me thankful. Yeah. And I see someone just Fortune 500 billionaire, and I say, why not me? And it makes me want to be faithful.
Come on.
And all of it, God is wanting me to be thoughtful. He wants me to think about this thing. That could be you or that could be you, but what are you going to do in order to get there? So she raised me like that. So I'm like, God, I got an opportunity. I'm going to teach the Bible study. We start off in the book of Job. I'm teaching about principles, going through hard times. And there's this one student named Carla. I taught for like 3.5 years. She kept saying, teach about love, teach about love. I'm like, I got to teach these gospels. I got to teach them how to walk this thing out in Christ. She kept telling me, so I finally committed to doing a series on love. What do I know about love? You know, I'm like, well, I'll just pull from what I know. I did these different series, and they loved it. And they said, okay, well, put it in a book. And I'm like, put it in a book? Like, just email it to your friends. They can have it. God is trying to make room and bring some resources into my life. So I finally put it in a book, and it's called Before the I Do. And I was telling Pastor yesterday, I was like, well, how is someone who's not married, doesn't have any kids, going to sit here and tell somebody before the I do? But the book is so self-reflective. Me and my friends grew up without fathers. And it shouldn't have to be that way.
Can I have to put a pin here? We just read that God has already prepared things you haven't seen yet. Never heard yet. So he's not married yet. Notice yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. But he can talk about through the word and wisdom about it and have the courage to do it, even though he never done it yet.
I put in the work. I prayed, I studied, and I asked people who had been married for 2 years, 57 years.
Research, inquire.
I saw an old man at Starbucks one day. He had to be at least 90-something. He rolled up with the car with his wife, and I said, "That's your wife?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Just tell me, how did you make it work?"
Come on,
and I'm just asking random people because I need to know. I need to know something. I came to Zoe because they were having a relationship conference on Sundays, and Brother Amir, I thank God for him. He invited me here. I'm doing research on my book. I mess around, join the church, fall in love here, you know. It's amazing. But
he's a love doctor. All right, come on. I'll call him the love doctor. All right,
through the whole process, man, God's just been amazing in how he's revealed it to me. Like I said, me and my friends grew up without a father. And so we're like, it shouldn't have to be that way. And I feel like, you know, the way this world is going is because of broken homes. So how do we fix that? Well, you stop. My book is really about not choosing someone for your preference, your spirit, your fleshly preference. It's about choosing someone for your purpose. But if you don't know your purpose, how do you choose someone for your purpose? And the thing I realize is that if this is the path that God has chosen for me, who I need isn't over there.
Come on.
The Bible said that these things will be added unto you. Seek ye first kingdom of God, things will be added. So anything I'm going to get is going to be right.
Come on, brother.
It's gonna be right here.
In your path.
That's where it's at. If I have to go over there to get something, that's not God's will for me. That's just as simple as I've made it for myself. God's not going to take you out of his perfect will to go get something that's supposed to be part of his perfect will. That's not the way it operates. He said it'll be added into you along that path. So I'm just grateful that I found that student and they pushed me to put this book together, and I'm just looking forward to what else God has for me.
Amen. Look at God.